In this video, you will learn 5 tips that make 99.9% of all men fall in love. 5 powerful tips based on solid psychological science that you can use today to make your guy fall in love with you. And these tips work because they are focused on replicating the changes in brain chemistry that happen to all men when they are in love. So, if you want to make a man fall in love with you, then this is the video for you. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to our topic, the 5 tips that make 99.9% of men fall in love. Usually, falling in love is something that happens to us, not something that we make happen by an act of will. I mean, sometimes we fall in love when we least expect it or want it. However, there are things that you could be doing that could kind of kickstart and facilitate the process of falling in love. And those things are all based on triggering the same physiological systems and the same powerful neurotransmitters that are present during the attraction phase, the infatuation phase, and the attachment phase of passionate love. So without further ado, let's just jump right into them. Number 1, the attraction phase, get his dopamine flowing. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter released by the brain that plays a number of roles in humans and other animals. But the important functions that we are concerned with here are dopamine's effects on pleasurable rewards, behavior and cognition, attention, and mood. Let me give you some examples that explain dopamine's role in attraction. When you see a person that you're attracted to, your dopamine levels instantly increase because you've detected something desirable in your environment. So you become instantly focused and excited. Well, guess what happens if you're able to artificially provoke an increase in your level of dopamine in the presence of another person? Yes, you become more attracted and start to enjoy and desire that person as a result. So, how do you provoke your brain to release dopamine? Well, as it turns out, engaging in challenging and novel activities affects the brain in much the same way that drugs do. That is, they trigger your brain to release the neurotransmitter dopamine. And when that happens, you associate those great feelings to the people that you are with. Here are some examples that you might recognize. People who are in challenging academic programs together. They are facing the same novel and challenging experiences. And often they grow very fond of one another quickly. They feel like they have a super special bond, or they feel that they know each other much longer. Now, that's dopamine working its magic. Another example, people taking dance lessons together and ending up having an intense affair. Yes, that's also dopamine. So finding ways of engaging your man in novel, challenging, and exciting experiences will cause you both to have elevated dopamine levels, and you'll feel closer and more attracted as a result. So, try out a new hobby together. Preferably it's something that is challenging or requires him to learn new skills or to push himself. For example, perhaps you are into yoga or Pilates, but the guy that you like has never tried it. So, invite him to come along, or take dance lessons together, or invite him to experience different types of foods with you, or experiment with learning to cook new dishes together. Again, we want to be doing something challenging and novel together. Remember these 3 words: novel, challenging, and exciting activities. All of these new adventures will cause a surge in dopamine that will be associated with you, and that's a great thing. Now, the second tip in the attraction phase is number 2, get his adrenaline pumping. You know that feeling you get when you're really attracted to someone or when you really like someone? Some people call it the butterflies. It's that nervous excitement, the jittery stomach, a racing heart, and an inability to focus on anything but that person. It's an amazing feeling. But what's happening on the inside of your body? Well, when you're attracted to someone, your body is releasing a cascade of neurotransmitters, particularly norepinephrine, also called adrenaline, just as it does during the fight or flight response. Chemically, it's the same response. If you fear for your life, your body prepares you to fight or to run away by releasing adrenaline. And adrenaline causes an increased heart rate, focused attention, and sweaty palms. It's that same wide-eyed electricity in your veins feeling that you get when you have the butterflies. So, what do you think happens if you're able to artificially trigger the fight or flight response by engaging in some adrenaline-producing activities with the person you like? Well, the arousal he feels can get transferred to you, and the level of attraction he feels towards you increases. In other words, when you trigger your fight or flight response by engaging in thrilling activities together, your adrenaline increases, his adrenaline increases, your heart races, his heart races, your palms get sweaty, and all of those feelings cause what is known as a misattribution of attraction. The adrenaline high you both experience gets associated with the other person, and your feelings of attraction and excitement about your partner increases as a result. Do a search and look it up. This is a phenomenon that has been widely studied. Just do a Google search for arousal and attraction or misattribution of attraction, and you will find the many studies that support what I'm saying. So, how can you apply this to be more attractive to your man? Well, find opportunities to engage in adrenaline-provoking experiences with him. Go to an amusement park and ride a roller coaster together. Go bungee jumping together, or skydiving, or wall climbing. You can even watch scary thrillers together. All of these things will provoke your body to release adrenaline. And when that happens, your level of attraction for one another goes through the roof. It's like fooling your brain that the arousal produced by this activity is really due to your attraction for the other person. And this helps to perk up the passion. Try it. I promise you'll be amazed at how effective this is. Number 3, the infatuation phase and the look of love. During the infatuation phase, the neurotransmitter phenylethylamine, or PEA, increases. PEA is a natural amphetamine produced by the brain, and high levels of this neurotransmitter help promote feelings of attraction, excitement, giddiness, and apprehension. So it makes sense that if you're able to raise a man's level of PEA in your presence, he's more likely to become infatuated with you. Now, as it turns out, PEA levels can be increased by certain psychoactive drugs and maybe by eating large amounts of chocolate too. The chocolate part is still up for debate, but you can always try it. Just make sure it's dark chocolate with the highest percentage of cocoa that you can find. And Coco is also the name of my kid's dog. However, there's another surefire way to stimulate PEA, and that is by prolonged eye contact. That's because prolonged eye contact is a powerful stimulator of affection, and specifically PEA. I've talked about this in other videos, and you can look up studies about prolonged eye contact. But what you need to do is deliberately spend time gazing into his eyes. This isn't going to be difficult to do. You can even make a game out of it. Just remember, deliberate, close eye contact for 5 minutes. Try this. It's crazy how effective it is. Close, deliberate, sustained eye contact for 5 minutes. It will kickstart his production of PEA. So far, we've covered the attraction and infatuation phases of passionate love. Keep watching, because now we're going to talk about the most important part, the attachment phase and oxytocin. Oxytocin is a very powerful neurotransmitter that is used to form the attachment in both children and adults. Oxytocin is the hormone that facilitates bonding between romantic partners. And the most exciting part, when oxytocin is released, the positive bonding and attachment effects are profound. High levels of oxytocin is associated with feelings of love, sexual desire, and bonding among romantic couples. And it's the hormone responsible for the rose-colored glasses that make your partner seem so perfect when you're falling in love. And oxytocin prevents you from becoming close to other potential mates and helping to maintain fidelity. And the best news, there are things that you can do to trigger the release of oxytocin in your man and facilitate and strengthen the attachment between the both of you. Fortunately, most of these tips are simple and even pleasurable, so they are easily adapted into your life. So start with physical touch. The best way to stimulate his oxytocin production is through physical touch, and specifically, number 4, give him a massage. Massage is one of the best ways to get oxytocin flowing into the body. In fact, massage benefits both the person giving the massage as well as the person receiving the massage. Both show increased levels of oxytocin. And you don't need to be a professional at it, but simply spend 15 to 20 minutes massaging your partner and you will both experience an increased feeling of closeness and attachment. And many studies have shown the effectiveness of massage in helping to reduce everyday stress, enhance the immune system, and generally making people feel more healthy and relaxed. And many of these benefits are directly related to the oxytocin release that is associated with massage and physical touch. So make it a point to give him a massage. It really works. Number 5, physical intimacy and waiting on sex. It has been well established that physical intimacy and sex causes both men and women to release oxytocin. And as such, they are both more likely to develop a bond and become attached. For both men and women, oxytocin is released due to the physical touch and closeness involved in sex. Oxytocin is released when gazing into each other's eyes, and oxytocin is released when hugging and kissing. However, there are some very important differences between how and when oxytocin is released in men and women. And here's where things get interesting. Women produce more of this hormone, and in particular, a surge of oxytocin is released when a woman has an orgasm. Now, on the other hand, when a man has an orgasm, the main hormone released is dopamine. So instead of getting a surge of bonding and wanting to cuddle more, men receive a surge of simple pleasure. So if you want to take advantage of triggering oxytocin in your man, try to hold off on the sex and focus on the foreplay. The more hugging and kissing and gazing into each other's eyes, the more oxytocin that is going to be released. Make a deliberate attempt to hold off on the sex as long as you can and engage instead in other foreplay and lengthen your lovemaking session to include as much physical contact, hugging, kissing, and gazing into each other's eyes as possible. So I really want to know how many of you have tried these tips. Please leave a comment and share your experience. They really do work. By the way, check out the video that YouTube thinks that you'll like, and please consider subscribing so that you're getting all of our new videos that will help you to make your love life the best part of your life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.